One Piece, the story of Straw Hat Luffy gathering his friends to become the Pirate King, is a series that has a particular place in my heart. The pandemic for me was a time to dive back into this series, and after taking a pause at Skypiea, which is funny enough one of my favorite arcs now, reading and watching things both I had seen and had not seen have left me incredibly surprised. From the detailed world building to the funny and sweet character interactions and sense of wonder that flows throughout the story. What surprised me the most though, was just how One Piece is continually able to deliver moments each arcs that just really pulls at the heartstrings. I'm OffTrackcrew, and this is things in anime that make me cry, which is a title where I look at anime moments and break down why they're so mostly effective. There's so many moments in One Piece I could pick and want to talk about in the future, but what I'm looking at here is Usopp's departure in Water 7, the first times that the Straw Hat crew was split apart. When leaving Syrup Village, Usopp intends to go off on his own as a pirate. Zoro and Luffy tell him to come aboard. He's a friend after all. You can argue Luffy and Usopp are best friends, playing along with each other's jokes and antics more than anyone else. When they ask him to come aboard, they ask him not as a sniper he will eventually become, and not as a shipwright for the growing Mary, but as another member of the Straw Hats, a valued friend who they would put everything on the line for, to be another comrade pursuing their dreams together. The sad thing is, by the time we enter Water 7, Usopp isn't seeing that. When he sees himself, in comparison to the rest of the Straw Hats at that point, he sees himself as not good enough. While Usopp has an unwavering belief in Luffy that he will become Pirate King, he doesn't think he himself is equipped to make that distance. He feels inadequate for not keeping up with the rest of the crew, like a ship on its last leg. So his insecurities make him feel like his deepest fears will come true. They will eventually abandon him. Once Usopp experiences his worst failures, losing the money to repair the Mary, getting beaten up for trying to take back the money he then lost because he felt like he had to do it himself, he reaches what he feels is his lowest point, especially with the knowledge that the Straw Hats are getting a new boat, leaving the broken Mary, not able to keep up with the rest of the crew's ambitions, behind. He also feels like it's his only real contribution to the team with his temporary role as the ship's caretaker, and now that that has been taken away, he has nothing else left to offer. He believes that because he couldn't be trusted with such a simple task, the money, the Mary, getting beaten up, while everyone else seems to have their strengths in place in the crew, he won't be able to carry his own weight.
It isn't like it was before. You guys are just too strong for me. I can't keep up anymore.
The reality of the situation is that the crew are more concerned that their friend was attacked and humiliated. They're quick to get revenge at anyone who would dare hurt a member of the crew. They never even blamed him for losing the money. But once again, Usopp doesn't see all of that. Caught up in his own pride, shame, inferiority, he challenges Luffy to a fight, missing the fact that all they wanted for him was just to be himself, their lovable friend. So in the end, what he was most afraid of came true, just not in the way he thought it would happen. Usopp's feelings of being a burden to the Straw Hats can be very understandable and honestly for me, very relatable. With the many family dynamics in One Piece, including biological families, adopted families, and other pirate crews, both good and bad, the Straw Hats stand as one of the healthiest family dynamics depicted in anime in general. In the Straw Hat crew, all you have to do is be yourself. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, or what your background is, everyone has a place in the crew. The thing that made me cry was that Usopp almost lost that place that he had had. No one wanted to turn out the way it did, and the crew is close enough as a family that the absence of any individual is felt. He was lucky enough to have a chance to be with them again, apologize and learn from the experience. Well, obviously, you should strive to grow as a person. Usopp's feeling of inferiority and fear of being left behind came from focusing so much on what he couldn't do and what he wished he could do, that he couldn't fully repay the Mary, that he can't be strong enough to fight like the monster trio. Ultimately, what saved him was focusing on what he himself was capable of. Each of the Straw Hats have their own strengths and weaknesses, certain things they can't do that they rely on each other for. Luffy highlights this in his fight against Arlong. All Usopp needed to do was to find the thing he was capable of, and do his best. Not everyone will have a crew like the Straw Hats. Some people are still looking for a crew, while others may have distanced themselves from a place they felt they belong due to similar insecurities. If you feel like you're in your head or feel stuck, unable to escape a negative mindset, Talk to whoever your crew is. It may be your relatives, your best friend. The important thing is that you don't bottle it all up and let it explode like Usopp did. Talk to your people. You might be surprised how wrong you are about your perception of yourself. I can say for myself that the lesson I learned from Usopp's departure and eventual return is that instead of comparing myself to others, I should focus on doing what I can do. Even if I'm not the best at it at first, but with some time, effort, and some supportive ass friends, I can accomplish my dreams.